There's been a lot of hype and controversy over Apple's latest release, the iPhone XS and the XS Max, starting at $1,000 for the XS and over $1,100 for the XS Max, which is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. But I wanted to see if there were any phones out there that can offer a premium look, pretty decent performance, and come in under $300. So I came across this. This is the Umidigi Z2. Now I have the Z2 Pro on the way, which has a little bit better processor, but this will give us a good idea of how well this budget phone can do. And I'm pretty impressed with the way it looks and overall how it performs. Hey everybody, this is Andrew, and this is my unboxing and review of the Umidigi Z2. Coming up. Want to see more videos like this? Well, why not hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification icon. This way you'll be alerted every time I post a new video. And don't forget to check me out on my social media, especially Twitter, because that's where I post all the latest updates. The Umidigi Z2 comes in at around $239 US, but right now it's on flash sale over at GearBest for $199. I think that's a great price for this phone. We'll talk more about that in just a bit, but if you want to pick one up, I'll put all the links below for more information and where you can buy one. Now here's a rundown of the specs. Powering the Z2 is the Helio P23 processor. It's an octa-core processor. It has 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of onboard storage, which is expandable via the microSD card slot. It has a 3,850 mAh battery, comes with Android 8.1, and it's pretty much stock, and it has global LTE bands. And it has a really nice 6.2-inch IPS LCD display. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. And you guessed it, it has a notch. Well, like it or hate it, it is here. Unfortunately, I don't think you can turn it off, at least not yet. We'll talk more about that as well. But enough with the specs. Let's find out what you get inside the box. Let's open this sucker up. Now, packaging is actually pretty nice. We've seen that before from Umidigi. They do a nice job in terms of presentation. Now, lifting the lid, you're greeted by a note from Umidigi thanking you for your purchase. That's a really nice touch. Now, it does come with a pre-applied screen protector, and it also has the case on already. And it's a nice touch that they include a case at this price point. That's pretty good. Now, you get some documentation that has multi-languages, including English, which is always good to see. You get a SIM ejector tool as well as a 3.5mm headphone adapter. You'll need it. There is no 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB-C cable in red, and you get your fast charging adapter. We'll talk more about battery life and charging times later in this review. Now, getting back to that case that they do include in the box, it's actually pretty nice, has a nice feel to it. I'm impressed that they do include that at this price point. First impression holding the unit for the first time is wow, that twilight color is absolutely gorgeous. It reminds me of the P20 Pro's twilight color, which I recently reviewed, by the way. It is excellent. You have a dual SIM tray as well as some metal buttons which feel really good to the touch, USB-C port, and a mono speaker to round it out. Now, it does have dual SIM capability, although one of the SIMs will be swapped out if you choose to use a microSD card slot with this device. Now, it does have global LTE bands, and I can tell you it is working here in the United States, 4G LTE via T-Mobile. I'm using my Project Fi SIM, which utilizes the T-Mobile network, just so you know. And it's also showing that it has voice over LTE, even better. But the star of this show has to be its 6.2-inch Full HD Plus display. It's an IPS LCD display with a resolution of 2246 by 1080. That's 402 pixels per inch, and it has a 90% screen-to-body ratio, making it have very, very small bezels. That's pretty nice. And it has a 19:9 aspect ratio, making it pretty easy to hold in the hand. It's very reminiscent of the iPhone X and the XS. Now, it has 450 nits of brightness, making it good for both indoor and outdoor use. I am very happy with this display. Color reproduction is good. Color accuracy is pretty good as well. I have to say, for a $200 phone, this has an excellent display with really deep black, some really vibrant colors. I'm really impressed. Now, as far as the notch is concerned, it's actually pretty long, and it will cover up some notifications, and you won't see your battery percentage, which is a little bit of a negative. That's something to keep in mind as well. And they couldn't find anywhere in the settings to turn it off. Hopefully they'll fix that with a software update. Now I have to say I'm a big fan of the design, and the build is really excellent. That twilight color really does reflect well in the light, changing colors in the different lighting environments, making it really interesting to look at as well. But be aware, it is a major fingerprint magnet and you will want to use the case as a result, but unfortunately that's something you probably shouldn't have to do with such a beautiful phone, but again, fingerprint magnet. Now, as far as performance is concerned, the Helio P23 is a mid-level processor at best. It's not going to be a speed demon by any stretch, so keep that in mind. Having said that, I thought it worked pretty well. I thought the OS was pretty fluid. There was not much lag in it, if at all, and you can play games on at least medium settings and even high settings on some games, depending on the title, of course. Of course, when you compare it to the iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 or other high-end flagships out there, it's not going to perform as well. But that's to be expected, as this phone comes in at $200 on flash sale right now. Those phones go over $1,000 plus US. And you got to keep that in mind when you're comparing this to those kind of devices. Now, having said that, this is more than capable as far as a device is concerned when it comes to performance. And that's pretty impressive at a $200 price point. And it becomes pretty evident that the price to performance ratio is really good with the Umidigi Z2. It has a mono speaker located on the bottom, and it's not bad. Now let's take a listen. You know what? For a budget phone, the speaker isn't that bad. It has a hint of bass and it gets pretty loud. Not bad at all. One negative, no headphone jack, but they do give you an adapter in the box. Now when it comes to the battery, it has a 3850 mAh battery, and here's how it did on my YouTube video streaming test. It's a full HD video under full brightness over Wi-Fi. You're getting 5 hours and 22 minutes. It comes out to around 8 hours of screen on time of mixed use under what I call my normal use, of course, but of course your mileage may vary depending on the task at hand. Now when it comes to fast charging, they do supply a fast charger in the box, 80% in about an hour, and a full charge you're looking at an hour and 52 minutes. Not too bad for a budget phone. Now Umidigi is promoting this with a 16 megapixel and 8 megapixel quad cameras, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, which is a little bit unusual. And I would say they're okay, not great. Front-facing camera on the Umidigi Z2. I want to know what you think about it. Let me know in the comment section below. Cameras aren't that great on this, but then again, at this price point, we don't have high expectations. Again, let me know what you think about it in that comment section below. Look, let me say this. The front-facing camera is okay for selfies, for Skype. It certainly will get the job done. Certainly adequate. Now, when it comes to the dual camera setup on the back, I would say it's okay at best, not great, and it does have that blurred background, a bokeh effect, but I think it's artificially done through software. I don't think that secondary camera is really contributing, if anything at all, to that blurred background or bokeh effect. But in good lighting conditions, you can get some okay shots, certainly usable, but in low light situations, things aren't that great. Take a look. It can shoot 1080p video, 30 frames per second. Unfortunately, no 4K video option, at least I couldn't find any. And it can't do any kind of image stabilization, either electronic or optical, obviously, so that's a little bit of a negative as well. And it also shoots in mono sound, not stereo sound, so as far as audio is concerned when you're shooting video, that's something you also want to keep in mind when you're deciding on this device. Now there's a rear-facing fingerprint sensor located on the back. I thought the placement was okay. Setup was easy, registering my finger pretty much every time I used it. It was okay, although I saw a slight delay every now and then when using that fingerprint sensor, just to keep that in mind if you're thinking about this device. And it also features Face Unlock. Now, it works okay, but here's the thing. I don't think it's a very secure way to log in. It's not using infrared as you would in, say, Face ID for the iOS. Here, it's a less secure method, in my opinion, although it worked really fast. But then again, less secure in my opinion, of course. Another good thing about this device, it's using stock Android, and it's Android 8.1. I'm not sure if it's going to get Android 9. We'll find out shortly, I'm sure. But again, I wouldn't have any high hopes at this price point. Having said that, everything runs really smooth. There's no lag. The OS seems very fluid. I'm impressed, and I like the fact, again, there's no crapware on this. And I like the fact that Umidigi seems to be updating it pretty frequently, as I had an update waiting for me pretty much right away when I unboxed it. So that's a good sign. Just a few odds and ends. GPS worked well, locking into the signal really quick. No problems using it with Google Maps and other mapping apps as well. Wi-Fi seemed to work pretty well, getting strong signals. And I was getting good 4G LTE speeds here over T-Mobile's network. So to wrap things up, can I recommend the Umidigi Z2? And the answer is yes. I have no problem recommending this really well-priced phone. I like its nice IPS display, its sharp looks, I like the good build quality, and I really like the design. I like the fact that it comes with global LTE networks, it charges pretty fast for a budget phone, and it comes with stock Android 8.1. Of course, it's not perfect, with average cameras at best, and it shoots only 1080p video. There's no 3.5mm headphone jack, and the notch display will be divisive among some. But at only $200, you're looking at a good price to performance ratio. I'm going to give it a score of 81%, making the Umidigi Z2 worth your money. So what do you think about the Umidigi Z2? First thing, right off the bat, this thing is beautiful. I don't care what anybody says. This twilight color is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way it looks. It really is a premium smartphone. If you didn't know the price tag, you'd think this would cost well over $500-600, maybe even more. But no, it's less than $300. It's $200 and change. And it really is pretty amazing that they were able to get such a beautiful looking design on such a smartphone. So I'm impressed with that. Now, we'll get to the cameras in a moment, but really the screen is very beautiful. It's a full HD plus resolution, and it really feels good in the hand, very iOS-like in terms of the feel, and as far as iPhone is concerned, when you make that comparison, it really is very nice. But of course, the cameras are not going to be that good on this. It's passable, but I wouldn't be doing any high-end photography or videography on this. But then again, this is a budget-level smartphone. So if you start comparing it to something like the iPhone 10 or the 10s or any of these higher-end phones such as the Galaxy Note 9, then this is going to fall short, of course. But I thought this could handle most of the tasks pretty well. The fact that it has face unlock as well as a fingerprint sensor for security purposes, okay, it's okay. I'm not going to say it's the most secure thing in the world, but you can definitely get some security with this. But it's pretty convenient to have that on such a budget phone. Battery life was pretty good as well. Overall, I have no real complaints about this, especially because you're getting it at such a good price. So I will be very forgiving on this phone when it comes to that. But when it comes to looks, this phone really does the job. I really love this gorgeous twilight color. I can't say it enough. This really is a premium level looking smartphone. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. Now, I have the Z2 Pro coming in tomorrow, so I should be able to give a good comparison to this. They're very similar in terms of specs, except that it will have a much better processor, so I'm expecting a much better performance out of that. But I really can recommend this in terms of the price. Really can't go wrong with this. I'm impressed with the way it looks. I can't believe that display, and I can't believe the overall gorgeous look. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it. I am curious to know. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course my website, AMDtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMDtech. See ya.